Okay, this evening we are having a discussion about best horror films, because Halloween's coming up and we didn't have any other ideas. And this is very difficult. Really, we're all just interpreting that in our own way. What are best horror films to us? Not like, most monumental or
Right.
oldest, best, newest, just what we each thought. So why don't we all say we kind of have a top three, right? Do you have a top three?
I went with like 8, but maybe I can narrow it down a little bit.
Let's start going off your list.
I got like 4.
All right, so
Okay.
I went with mainly modern movies.
You're a modern type of guy.
Right. There are some older ones that I like. Halloween
Halloween's
series
your
a
favorite.
lot. I'm
One
a
of your
big fan of that.
Yeah.
Hellraiser, I really like just because of Pinhead. Otherwise,
I remember you did buy the Halloween soundtrack from Mike's.
probably not true again.
Yes, you had it. I know you did.
So I got 28 Days Later.
Okay.
One of my top movies of all time, really.
Yeah.
Not just horror, but one of my favorites of all time. More recent, Insidious. Did you guys see Insidious?
No.
I didn't really like.
Didn't like Insidious? I thought Insidious was really cool with what it did at the latter half of the movie. Like, you don't normally, with ghost movies, you don't normally get to see the other side, the
Right.
ghost world.
Right.
I thought that was really cool to jump into and see.
I just thought they held back because of the rating that it got. Like, it could have
Really?
been. They could have tried to scare more. I just wasn't scared in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of the movie was great, and like you said, the end of the movie, but it just sort of seemed like
just didn't have as much scare for you.
it seemed very PG.
Yeah, I didn't get that feeling. Paranormal Activity. Love Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
1 and 2 really. And then I have Saw in here as well. I don't really know if that's a horror movie. I guess it kind of is, right?
Saw?
Would you call it a horror movie?
Yeah.
I'd call it more of a thriller.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
But-
thriller,
It's on there.
well,
Yeah.
wait, are you including the whole series or just like the first one?
See, I think it turned into more of a horror series, but the
Yeah.
first one I thought was much more of a thriller.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not including the series.
Oh,
Just
okay.
the first one.
All right. Yeah.
Mainly because of the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's a good ending.
Yeah, that's my list for the most part.
That was your whole list?
Well, I had a couple more, but
Okay.
I'll stop because
We
you
can
guys only have
discuss.
3.
Well, I'm going to go with 4 because when you guys started talking about Insidious, I remember, and it's funny because I tend to elevate horror movies that I like. I tend to put them in a different category. Like, horror is kind of lower for me. But
So what's the other category? Do you have a name
I just
for it?
move them like thriller or science fiction
Okay.
or,
Sure.
I don't maybe think of a category. I just keep it out of horror. But I really liked Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, Peter
Yeah.
Jackson movie, and same type of thing. You kind of see the ghost world a little bit, and just
Yeah.
really clever and funny and classic. And I would right behind that, I would say it's not a horror movie at all, but Frighteners to me is more of a Ghostbusters. But I'll call Frighteners a horror movie. But
Yeah, I mean, it's bordering on horror, comedy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cross genre.
Which brings up my other tops. Dead Alive, another Peter Jackson movie. It's just all about gore and gruesomeness and just weird scenes, elaborate scenes, and it's more of a comedy, really,
Yeah.
but very gory. Loved it. And then I gotta talk about Evil Dead and Army of Darkness because I know that's really generic and everyone always says that, but I like Army of Darkness for a different reason. I really like the Ash's character because really a lot of the stuff in the movie is his fault if you think about it, even if you don't think about it. Like, all he had to do was recite some words correctly and it would have all been over, but he was too cool and too busy to learn them. And so really he brought this huge war onto himself because in the beginning he didn't care about these people who he time traveled to, the castle folk. If you haven't seen Evil Dead, Army of Darkness,
No,
just
this makes
turn
sense.
it off. Just turn it off. No, but I love that character. It's not something you see a lot. And then he kind of started to learn to love these people. And then he wanted to fight, but it was too late. He already made this huge mistake, and I like that. You don't see that a lot. And they kind of, they're classic.
Yeah.
Horror comedy.
So you like Army of Darkness, and you think that's a different reason because of Ash? I think that's what
No,
everybody
no,
knows.
but Ash is
Because of
different.
Ash.
Ash is different in the first two, like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And then I think the third one he really came into his own, and I wish they would have made more because I like that character as kind of a Jack Sparrow. character. You did a yawn with your mouth closed. I saw you.
No, it wasn't because of that.
It's like when people are trying to be polite and they don't want to
Well,
yawn, but you know they're
well,
yawning. It's like,
Well, because I'm now being videotaped. People are
so
trying to be professional, Max.
So that's kind of where I'm at. And then my top one, as far as horror movies, I'd have to say Event Horizon.
Wow.
Because it was creepy, weird, it stuck with me.
Yeah.
I watched it again last year. I kind of try to watch it every so often. It's just a good horror movie. They're trapped in space.
Yeah.
They don't know if they're going mad. You know, you don't know what's at play. And I consider that more of a sci-fi because I like it so much. But really, it's a horror. Horror sci-fi.
Wow. Now, listening to these lists,
What's your list?
I just got me thinking of more movies, and I was like, wow, I guess I could fall into that.
I know, it's
Yeah.
infinite.
But dang. All right, well, I more went for a classic, like horror movies, like what I have. I went with Nightmare on Elm Street, not the remake, even though the remake that came out was last year, year before last,
Yeah, I think it's 2
pretty
years ago.
recent.
Yeah.
It was all right, but
Yeah.
the original one is
So the original first one, not necessarily the whole series, but
Right.
the first one.
well,
I'd say
it got around like the third one. It got very campy. And,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
got
Yeah.
very
But I think that one, Nightmare on Elm Street's great because it makes you afraid of something. Like, if you start thinking about when you fall asleep,
Yeah.
when you're younger.
yeah.
And that's why Jaws, I love Jaws too, because it makes you afraid to go in the water. And I think a horror movie that really scares you and really, Jaws is going to be my top.
Psycho
I
is
know
a
you hate
very
Jaws.
classic example.
Yeah,
of
afraid to
that,
take a shower.
that thing. Yeah.
I'm afraid to take a shower for other reasons.
You don't like soap.
I don't like soap. Sorry, go ahead, continue,
Okay.
please.
And then I also went with Halloween, but I also liked Rob Zombie's remake.
I did too.
I didn't.
I did. I don't know why.
I don't either. The
I mean,
actress
because
is
I
great.
made so many other Halloweens, like the whole there's like 10 of them or something like that.
There's a
It's-
lot. Yeah, I
there's a
don't know.
lot. So
Maybe 8.
after
something.
all those that happened, for him to come in and actually just try to do the original one,
Yeah.
but with his own version.
Yeah.
And he kind of put the first two together.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it so bad because I really like Devil's Rejects and House of the Thousand.
Corpses.
Yeah, but it just didn't do it for me. I don't know why.
I don't know. Just sort of liked it.
Yeah.
Weird. And then, okay. Oh, what I said.
Wait,
Oh,
so on your list,
Yeah.
you said is Halloween
Yeah.
the original on your list or the remake on your
they're
list?
both.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like them for their own
Yeah.
reasons. Well, one because one is the original,
Uh-huh.
but I liked what Rob Zombie did with
Mm-hmm.
the remake. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, yeah, I'll just, more recent, I guess, Scream, and I'll put the first two up there. The third one was not good. That's horrible. But the fourth one, that was all right.
Was that the most recent one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how they tried, and I heard they're gonna make another one, which
Yeah.
they might be pushing it a little too far. But yeah,
Yeah,
I like
I was a
Scream.
huge fan of Scream when it came out. Yeah. I liked
actually, I
it a
just
lot.
saw the Scream 2 on like Showtime or something not too long ago.
Is that the one where they were like on the movie set, or is that the third one?
That's
That's the third one.
Okay.
They were on a college campus or something.
I like the
Has
scene in
Jerry
Scream
O'Connell in
2.
it.
Okay.
He dies of it.
I like the scene in Scream 2 when they throw the knife at Dewey and you think it's going to get him in the head and then the handle hits him. I think that was pretty classic.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been really like? Do you guys remember a movie where you're really like terrified, really scared? Or do some of these
Yeah.
movies in your list qualify? Probably not for you. You picked all comedy horrors.
Event Horizon
Okay.
was, and I remember when I was
Yeah.
real young, I watched Alien with my dad, and I wasn't scared until there was like a closet with a bunch of clothes, and my dad was like, "That movie scare you?" And I was like, "No," and he goes, "Oh yeah," and he opened the closet and like kicked me in and closed the closet. And I was like, "Don't freak out! Don't freak out!" It was awful.
I think Aliens scared me, but more so the scene with the knife when you go around the hand because I don't like knives, and that
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh my god! Yeah, I was a little.
All your horror movies have knives in it. Scream,
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, maybe that's on personal
Yeah.
fear.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Knives for fingers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I also had The Shining on my list. Although that's not really a horror movie. But it is a scary movie.
Yeah, it is scary. That one bothered me when I was a kid and saw it.
Yeah, I guess it's all about the age when you see the movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
very
Hang
much.
on a second.
Like,
Go ahead, continue.
All right, so that's what you're saying.
Yeah, so I saw Candyman when I was right at the right age. I went with, I didn't go. My cousin and I rented it.
Mhm.
We watched it in my room like really late at night, and he fell asleep, so I was alone watching it, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to turn it off. Like that's the only movie that I've ever gotten so scared of that I had to turn it off. So
Candyman! Did it work?
Yeah, because I was expecting you to come through the door. I don't know why I thought you went outside.
I had no idea where you were.
God, you guys are easy.
Well, sorry. But,
All right,
yeah.
I think that's about it.
Thanks for watching.